The Last Jedi, my speculation before seeing the movie, and then a second part to my reaction after seeing the movie. Going to be doing that on this episode of Gateway to Geekdom. Okay, so here we are at the Star Wars Last Jedi official trailer from Star Wars' official YouTube page. Hopefully Disney doesn't take this video down claiming that it's theirs. So all trademarks go to Disney. Just putting that disclaimer right there. Probably add some text to post-production. But anyways, let's go ahead and refresh ourselves to the Last Jedi trailer and see what kind of speculations we can get from that. Right after I mute my microphone, we can go ahead and get started.
When I found you, I saw raw, untamed power. And beyond that, something truly special.
Something inside me has always been there. But now it's awake. And I need help.
I've seen this raw strength only once before. It didn't scare me enough then. It does now. Let the past die. Kill it. If you have to. That's the only way to become what you were meant to be. We are the spark that'll light the fire that'll burn the First Order down. Come on! This is not going to go the way you think. Fulfill your destiny.
I need someone to show me my place in all this.
Alright, cool stuff. So, speculation time. Here we go. So at the beginning, we obviously see Kylo Ren, and we hear a voice that is... Here, let me go ahead and expand myself here a little bit. We obviously hear a voice that we're assuming that's going to be General Snoke saying, "When I found you, I saw raw, undaunted power." It first leads to Kylo Ren, but then it leads to Rey. So the question is, and I'm sure as if you've watched this trailer as many times as I have, there's a lot of open-ended questions in this trailer, like who is Snoke referring to? What is Kylo Ren gonna do? And the when he says "let the past die." So let's just go ahead and just play it here to get control over the video. Let's see here. Also, we know for sure that Rey is going to be trained under Luke. I mean, we all saw that coming ever since The Force Awakens as well. And then Rey finally gives Luke back his original lightsaber also. And there might be some parallels between, well, not between Luke's training and Rey's training, because obviously Luke isn't on Rey's back. Okay, like I've seen multiple comics saying like, okay, if Yoda trained Luke with him on his back, then no, that's not gonna be like that. But with this line, I've seen power like this before. It didn't scare me then. It does now. I'm not sure. Again, open-endedness. Is he referring to his confrontation with Emperor Palpatine and his father Darth Vader? That sort of raw power, or could it be referring to his student Kylo Ren, as we see in this shot here? And again, what exactly does this mean when he is smashing his helmet into the side out of frustration again? And also, what's going to happen to Princess Leia? All sorts of open-ended questions here. I think, well, with the passing away of Carrie Fisher, I think Princess Leia is probably next to be killed off in this movie as well. After, spoiler alert for those who haven't seen The Force Awakens yet, after Han Solo was killed off on a Starkiller base. Now, it's kind of interesting of how they're taking Star Wars in a direction to where, as old as the original cast is starting to age and starting to die off, they're kind of it's basically happening again in the Star Wars universe, where the original cast is starting to get killed off a little bit, and I think, but as old members leave, you gotta bring in new members for the next era of Star Wars as well. Now exactly, is Rey going to stay in this trilogy until the 9th or even the 10th movies? What's exactly going to happen to Kylo Ren? Is he going to stay on the dark side, or is he going to give in to that draw of going towards the light, as may or not happen? Now, exactly what's going on with the by the way, this little porgy, I think it's called a porgy. I want a stuffed version of this. It's adorable. Okay, I'm not the only one. It's adorable. Come on, somebody help me out here. Okay, I want a stuffed version of that porgy. Okay, so, and then we also have Poe Dameron as well. Is he going to be facing off with Kylo Ren in a big epic space battle? We already know right here between Finn and Plasma that they're hitting off as well. Now, I can't remember the name of that weapon that Finn is holding, but we saw it again in The Force Awakens, and with the traitor First Order trooper as well. And it was kind of surprising to me, like, I didn't think about this until I saw it as a video on YouTube as well, on why exactly that weapon didn't just break apart when confronting a lightsaber, because lightsabers cut through everything, and I think it's some sort of electrical force surrounding it that is kind of the that cancels out the lightsaber's ability just to simply cut through it. It's kind of like an anti-plasma, I think one person explained it, but I could be totally botching it, so I'm sorry if I'm totally winging this here. So we know Finn and Plasma are going to be facing off, and then here at this trailer we know that Luke says this isn't going to go the way you think. Now, one of my co-workers said, remember to keep that line in mind when you're going into the movie theater. So everything that I might be speculating before I see this movie, and yes, I know I'm very late to the party, I'm seeing this movie, but the speculation that I might have right now on exactly what may or may not happen, it's probably not going to go anything like I think it will or won't. And then also right here, as you can see, with Supreme Leader Snoke and Rey being in the same room, okay, this maneuver right here with Rey floating in the air like that, now, it takes a lot of force power, if I understand correctly, according to the Star Wars universe. Like, we saw the same demonstrated power with Rey, or not with Rey, with Kylo Ren holding that plasma bolt in the air at the beginning of The Force Awakens. We also see it again when he froze Poe Dameon right in his place, and then again when he froze Rey right in her place, as well later on in the same movie. Now, here we know that Supreme Leader Snoke is kind of showing off his Force powers and trying to... Is he trying to manipulate Rey into his side? We don't know exactly what's going on. Those who have already seen the movie, however, have already know what has happened. Me, as of yet, I have no idea. But hence, after this segment, when I come back after seeing the movie and giving my full of spoiler review on my thoughts on The Last Jedi, then everything will make sense and probably not go the way it went, according to the words of Skywalker himself. And then last here, again, a big open-ended questions. Rey just wants to know what her place is in all of this, and why exactly is Kylo Ren holding out his hand? I mean, there's so much speculation, there's so much open-endedness. I'm really excited to see this movie. Now we're just gonna go ahead, we'll cut to after I've seen The Last Jedi, and we'll go into my final thoughts. We have a lot to talk about. Okay, we are back here again at the trailer. A good place where we left off. And now this is the segment of the video where all spoilers are going to be put right out there. If you still, for some reason, haven't seen The Last Jedi, right now will be your time to click away. I'm going to put probably big old text right there on the screen. Just click away if you don't want The Last Jedi spoiled for you, if you haven't seen it yet. If you have seen it yet, well, I'm just going to give those who haven't seen it about 10 seconds. So I'm just going to go ahead and just check my phone real quick. I'm warning you, I'm going to spoil everything. I mean it. Alright, you're still here? Okay. Seen the movie? Okay. So, you know exactly what happens. Let me tell you, let me just start off with just saying this. Wow, it was... The Last Jedi was awesome. I mean, not like I was expecting it to not be awesome, but man, Luke was definitely right in this trailer saying this wasn't going to go exactly the way you thought it was. My predictions was that somebody was going to die. Okay, in the beginning of the movie, let's have this play here. Okay, right now, like we see Kylo Ren again. With these, when we started that shot off with, like he was looking over all those. I can't remember what was these. Hold on. These, because these aren't necessarily AT-ATs. AT-ATs are right here. These are much bigger than this. So this part of the movie is closer to the end when the Resistance gets to the old Rebel base in order to call out a distress signal. So this scene right here is closer to the end of the movie. But first things that happened here is that the movie gave off the impression that Princess Leia was going to get killed off, and when it almost happened, what happened is that let's go to that part. Okay, right here. Like you see in this trailer, like in this trailer, like uh, Kylo Ren is really divided between if he should blow up the bridge where his mother is at or not. He doesn't. But his two escorts that were right next to him get the idea and shoot the bridge on anyways. Um, Princess Leia gets sent out into space, and well, I thought that wow, oh man, Princess Leia is dead. That's it. That they killed her off, and I was willing to accept that. Like, oh man, that really sucks. However, she uses the Force to kind of fly back into where the remnants of the bridge were and kind of recover from the blast as well. Let's go back here. Okay, so we see this part with Rey where she's kind of in the movie. She's training herself. And Luke doesn't want anything to be training or want to do anything with teaching new Jedi because of what happened to his training with Ben Solo, who what used to be his name with Kylo Ren. So Luke saw a lot of darkness in Ben Solo, and he thought, well, Snoke has already gotten to him, and well, there's nothing I can do. I should maybe, for a brief second, Luke was going to strike Kylo Ren down. Well, yeah, we'll just call him Kylo Ren. He was gonna strike him down, but then he hesitated, and Kylo already made up his mind that I'm not going to have anything to do with the Jedi. I'm going to use my Force for the dark side, and basically burnt down, just destroyed everything that Luke had worked so hard to bring about another generation of Jedi. But now he went to this island to basically die and to end the Order of the Jedi as well. So, so my prediction with that was, well, no, I didn't. No, I didn't really predict that. I did predict that somebody was going to die. Luke, at the end of the movie, does get at the end of the movie, he does turn into a Force ghost, and at first I was kind of shaking, like, okay, what? And this leaves off with a couple problems. One of the things I have a problem with the movie, Luke was kind of seen as a hope symbol for the light side of the Force this entire time. But now, with him being gone and him not being able to see the best in people, well, who's going to do that now? They have hinted that, Rey will probably do that. I mean, that's what they're kind of hinting at. Ben Solo still has some good in him. Well, Kylo Ren might go back to Ben Solo, but we don't know for sure. Episode 9 will probably tie in a lot of these loose strings. Right here is where we have the evil tree. According to Star Wars canon, it's kind of where sort of everything started. Right here, in this, well, I think they show it in the trailer, is where you'll see the Sacred Jedi text right. Oh, we just barely missed it. Back up. Okay, right here. Sacred Jedi text, the first and the original text for the Jedi Order, made many years ago in the Star Wars universe. And Rey says that she has seen has seen these in her dreams beforehand. And I think these texts were kind of calling out to her, just like Luke's old lightsaber was calling out to her in The Force Awakens. And so, what kind of purpose they'll bring in the movie right here with the evil tree, and then the books being inside the evil tree. Luke decides that it's time for the Jedi Order to end, just basically be done with it. And he's first going to burn down the tree, but then Yoda shows up as a Force ghost. Yoda makes an appearance back in the movie, which was really awesome. and he kind of scolds Luke for always trying to look ahead into the future and try to prevent the future instead of being in the here and the now and the what he can do in the moment. And so, and it's awesome. Yoda with just like one just move of his finger and just a little bit of concentration, wham, lightning right to the evil tree, just burns the whole thing down. And Luke's like, all right, it's okay, it's time for the Jedi to end. So let's see, what other part of the, okay. Right here, he's in the trailer. It says, "I've seen this raw strength only once before," and it turns out that that was in Ben Solo. That's so Ben Solo, Kylo Ren. I kept saying that I was gonna just call Ren Kylo Ren. So Kylo and Rey both share the about pretty equal amounts of strength when it comes to the Force. But in the movie, there is kind of a bridge that kind of bridges both Ren and Rey together, and it turns out that General Snoke is bridging the two together and calling the two together kind of as a trap. And it was kind of an interesting point to bring the two together because Snoke, wanted to have Rey right in his throne room. Now the throne room, okay, another thing I have now this is just nitpicking. A lot of Star Wars reviews that I have seen and heard has been quite a bit of nitpicking, and now it's not going to be able to do it perfectly, but they had to work with who they had when they could. I don't understand one thing exactly is how they bring up Snoke to be this kind of new Emperor Palpatine, but then in the movie they just cut him right off. Just literally they cut him right in half, right down the middle, because Rey's lightsaber is right over on this side of Snoke's throne, and then when Snoke commissions Ren to kill Rey, okay, he very subtly turns the Skywalker's lightsaber to cut Snoke right down the middle there. And then there's this awesome scene where Rey and Ren are fighting his bodyguards, and it was really like kind of a questionable moment of the movie turned to a very awesome part of the movie where you saw those red guards going into action as well. And so let's see here. Is there any other parts of the film? Okay. Right here is where I was asking exactly who is Rey talking to at this point in the movie. It turns out in this part of the movie, Rey is talking to Luke that she needs to know what her place is amongst the entire conflict that's going on between the Resistance and the First Order. And it would make it seem that now Rey and Ren do obviously talk to each other, and this part is right after they fight all those guards in Snoke's throne room, and the Resistance is able to make its escape to a planet below hand. So with that being said, that he does offer his hand out to Rey to join him because he wants, just like Luke, he wants everything to die, the Sith, the Jedi, just let everything just die in the past and just be done with it. But Rey's very hesitant, and for good reason too, because exactly where he wants to take it, is it for his own purpose? That might be answered in episode 9, but now at this point in the movie right here, he's now the new supreme leader, being that Snoke is dead. And so that was just kind of the highlight of all the different predictions I tried to make in the trailer. We'll just go back to video mode here. So how exactly would I rate The Last Jedi? Now, The Last Jedi was a very awesome movie. I didn't think it wasn't going to be. It did. They are trying to move the series along. Hold on. It's a little bright in here. I'm just gonna. Okay, that's better. They are just trying to move the saga along to where the old characters are dying off and the new characters can come in and replace them. Now, here's an interesting point in the movie series that I'm not sure how they'll work this out, but I believe they will. They always do. That it's not just Jedi or Sith that can be able to use the Force. It's basically anybody within the Star Wars universe is able to use the Force, and well, we see at the end of the movie where this slave boy at the one end of the scene, he's going to reach out for the broom, but the broom kind of just comes to him and he grabs it. What seems to be it's very, very subtle, but it's very noticeable. And how everybody might be able to use the Force, I don't know how they're going to tie in with the whole plot. If they're going to start moving away from the Skywalker lineage and what exactly is going to happen between Kylo Ren and Rey being with Luke being gone, Carrie Fisher being dead, she can no longer play Rey or play Princess Leia as she used to. I'm sure we'll probably see some development of Poe Dameron becoming the new Resistance General. He was very feisty in this one because he really went against orders a lot, and he wanted to take out an entire drug knob, but Leia ordered him that no, it's not a good idea. But he went ahead anyway, and he got the entire bomber fleet of the Resistance destroyed. And then also, oh gosh, what else? I should have written this down, not trying to wing it. But anyways, overall, the question is like, what's gonna happen between Ren and Rey, and then how is the development of other characters like Finn and Poe going to be affected? How is the Resistance going to be brought back up? How is the First Order going to recover? And that's another thing that I thought too, like, how exactly did the First Order take such a beating on Starkiller Base of The Force Awakens, and then turn right around and they're still doing fine? It's like The Force Awakens never happened, but here we are with them militarily overthrowing or very close to controlling the entire galaxy with their might. And so, with that also being said, I also had one other nitpicky scene too. I kind of thought the scene with them going to with Finn and then a new character they kind of brought into the movie, Rose, of how they went to go find this code master breaker to crack in through the First Order's line of security defense. It made me just wonder, like, isn't that what the droids are for? Why do they need a code master? And then they do find it, okay, after destroying this town where they make a statement about the rich in the galaxy being corrupt and how the animals don't deserve abuse. When they release all the animals, and then they'll probably just be found and turned right back in 5 minutes later. So I mean, was it worth it? Well, I mean, to Rose it was, but I mean, you got bigger things on your plate just to worry about a few animals, Rose. I mean, come on. But anyways, overall, I would give this movie a very good recommendation. I've already seen it twice at the time of this recording. First time, I had to start taking everything in. I missed a little bit because, I mean, it's a 2.5-hour movie. I mean, I had to break off and go use the bathroom, and fortunately it was at the part where they started to go find the Codemaster Breaker, because in my mind I'm like, yeah, they're gonna find it, they usually do. So I went out and I came back and watched everything, but my first reaction, I think the biggest takeaways, is how exactly Luke is going to, how his character is going to be for future Star Wars video or future Star Wars episodes. Is he still gonna play his role just being a Force ghost? Because they were able to bring Yoda back for a little bit, but that was just a small cameo. I mean, how exactly is Luke going to fulfill his role as being the person that sees the good in other people? That's just a question I have. So anyways, those were my thoughts on The Last Jedi. Thank you guys so much for watching. Credit again to YouTube's or to Star Wars official YouTube for using the trailer for this video. Movie was awesome. Would definitely go watch it again. Probably will watch it again while it's in theaters. Kind of excited to see how things are going to play out in episode 9. But until then, we're going to have the Ben Solo movie coming out in May or sometime in 2018. When the trailer drops for that, I'm going to be doing another reaction, a legitimate reaction video to that one. That's going to be exciting. Can't wait for that trailer to drop. So anyway, guys, thank you so much again. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed, or a thumbs down if you didn't. Leave any feedback that you have in the comments below. Be sure to follow me on all my different Amino social media plugs. And until the next video, as always, stay geeky.